What's going on, everyone? We're finally going to get into this Q&A video. Been holding off a while trying to find some time, but we're ready now, so let's do it. Let's jump right into it.
What it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, 'cause we're golden.
I need my step. Where's my step? Yeah, I found my step. This is the step of knowledge. Now we have our step of knowledge, we can get right into these questions. First question was, what more are we going to do to the car? Well, first, what is most important, or technically not most important, but what I think is most important, is dual battery setup. What I'm going to do, in front of these drawers here, I'm going to have a full slimline lithium dual battery setup, and that's going to be wicked because then I can run a fridge 24/7, so that's obviously another thing I'm going to do. If we go further back here, I want to either off the bottom of the roof rack mount some lights or integrate them into the bumper itself, but we're going to have some rear lights set up so we get a bit more bright reversing. Rock sliders, definitely something else I want to do. Just got the factory steps on it right now. If we go in the front of the car, jump in there, you see the head unit. It's just a single DIN head unit at the moment. I'm going to get Apple CarPlay and get that all sorted, so then we have all that kind of fun stuff. Other than that, there's really not much. Everything else is really cosmetics. Yeah, I mean, there's probably lots more I want to do to it. Yeah, so pretty much everything I want to do to it will pretty much be cosmetic. Like, even if I end up putting a set of alloys on it or something, probably won't. But yeah, performance-wise, the motor's done. Everything's done. What I actually need to do, I need to go get it retuned. So right now it's running at a rich tune. But yeah, later on I got to go get it retuned, get some more power out of it, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm just happy it's on the road, and I really just want to use the car. Don't really want to do too much more to it, but yeah, there'll definitely be more stuff done. Which leads me into question 2, which was probably one of the most asked questions. How much power did it make on the dyno? Now, let me tell you, it didn't make as much as you think. It's a run-in tune. It is only running at 8 PSI worth of boost, and it's on the 35s. It made 219 horsepower. Actually, sorry, corrected. Might be 213. Let me get the dyno sheet out. Yeah, wherever the dyno sheet is.
A few moments later.
After a solid 5 minutes of searching around my car, I found my dyno sheet. Okay, so what we got here is the sheet. As you can see, oh, hold it still. It made 218 horsepower and 502 Newton meters with, oh, far out, focus please, with 1,036 pounds worth of force. Yeah, so it made a little bit of power. Yeah, right now that's only on 8 PSI, and next time I go get it tuned, we're going to lean it out a little bit because it's running really rich, and we're going to wind the boost up to probably about 12. So I'm hoping 350 I'll be happy with. If we make that on 35s, that'd be ridiculous, but it'll be fun. That's what we're going for. So yeah. Alright, on to the next question. Question 3 involved the front mount intercooler. I got asked, how did I mount the front mount? So pretty well with this front mount intercooler, it is mounted with just a bit of a custom bracket across the top. God, it's actually really hard to film in here, but the bracket comes from that mount bolt and that mount bolt here on the intercooler, comes back, comes up, and then right where your bonnet latch is, it mounts just off the bolts, just below it. So that 13 there. And on the bottom, never mind. I would show you on the bottom, but I can't actually get that to, it's pretty much the same setup. Exact same mount as on top. And yeah, pretty much the exact same setup. Now, size-wise for the intercooler, 70mm thick by 600 wide by 300 deep. It's a, yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest intercooler you can get, but it's perfect for what we have. As you can see, condenser fans, they were able to stay there, so I didn't have to rip condenser fans out or anything like that. So everything is factory, except obviously it's got a big, nice intercooler mounted in there. Grill, I had to cut the grill out, as you can see, all around there. Grill fins are all cut out, otherwise they hit all on the intercooler, but yeah, that's that all mounted. I would show you from the bottom, but unfortunately I have all the guards and whatnot on, and I don't really want to take it all off. But yeah, that's how it's mounted. Hopefully that answered that question enough. But yeah, on to the next. Which now brings us on to the next question, which involves the heater hoses. I got asked, how close are the heater hoses to the dump? I don't know what your version of close are, but yeah, they are about, let me get my finger in there. They're close, yeah. Like I can kind of put my finger in there. They are ridiculously close, but with the turbo heat wrapped and the dump pipe heat wrapped, blanket on the turbo, header hoses heat wrapped, I have not had an issue yet. They are very close, but not close enough that it's actually caused any issues. Another close thing that you might encounter is your aircon hose. This aircon hose is also ridiculously close to the turbo blanket. It still, like, my aircon still works perfectly fine, and I've had to maneuver and bend it a little bit, but it works, and I haven't had any dramas, so that should answer your question. Just if you're gonna run your heater still, make sure you heat wrap them, otherwise it'll rub through your heater hose and you will no longer have any heater and coolant will go everywhere. So the next question is talking about costing. Now, costing is expensive. Doesn't matter how you want to put it, it's going to be expensive. So first, cost breakdown on the motor. What we did, pistons and rods. Corello pistons, spool rods, both off the spool website. It's made to order, so you have to give them all your sizes, give them your bore, everything you have to give them, and then they do it all for you. Machine work, I did that through one of my dad's friends. He owns 360 Sport and Customs, and he did that for me. That was about $700 for the whole machining work. That was ring gap, rehoning the block because I went 10th thou oversize. So he bought it out for me, sorry. And then he honed all the cylinders and decked the block. Other than that, I also ordered all the shells. So we have main shells, we had the rod shells, and we had the cam shells. Obviously, between all them, they're only about $300 for all that. We got head studs, ARP head studs. They run you about $1,500. Actually, they might be a little bit more than that. I'll double check when I go through this video, but got ARP head studs as well. Then I got heavy duty valve springs. I got the head decked as well, so then the head was nice and flat. And I got the valves all resetted and recut. And other than that, that was pretty much all the work we did to the motor. Now for the turbo setup, it's actually on the cheaper side. It's not as expensive as the engine build itself. One thing I did forget about the engine build was the injectors. I got AFI hardware, 751cc injectors. As you can see there, that's the AFI hardware billet rail there. And I got all their 751cc injectors. So if anyone's wondering what size injectors to run, 750cc seem to work perfectly fine. They also were about $1,100. So I guess that still counts as internal motor. But yeah, that is another thing that you might have to look at. Braided fuel lines, very important. You try on the stock rubber fuel lines, they will probably burst and won't be able to hold the pressure. So that's also very important. Turbo setup, all the piping, straight off eBay. You can recut, get it all sorted. It's pretty cheap. It's only like $400 for all the piping and all that. And then you just cut it to whatever size you need, or re-weld it, or whatever you need to do with it. But yeah, that's all pretty straightforward, that. Turbo's probably going to run you anywhere between, I don't know, it depends how nice of a turbo you really want to get. But if you just get a Mamba, it's probably not going to be too much expensive. Probably like a $1,000 turbo. It's not too bad. And then obviously you need your turbo manifold and your exhaust dump. My full exhaust setup was probably about $400. That's 3-inch dump from the back of the turbo. I've got one inline muffler and that's about it. But I like the way it sounds, and that ran me about $300. That's for a full, that's just a stainless steel exhaust. Yeah, all the intake side, that was already on it. So box, snorkel, all that. Didn't have to pay for it. But a box and a snorkel is probably going to run you another $1,000 around there. So as you can see, it does start climbing, but if you want to put a turbo on your car, you don't really need an airbox and a snorkel. You could just put a pod filter straight on the front of it if you really wanted to. We've got supporting boost controller just in there. Boost controller helps a lot for not over boosting and helps me like maintain and keep what boost I want in my car. Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. You got oil feeds, you got your water feeds, your oil feeds, that's all part of the turbo. I mentioned them when I was building my car, where I teed into them. There's actually factory water feeds in the block, and the oil feed you just get from the, there's factory oil feeds in the block too. So there's factory water, factory oil feeds in the block. It's all pretty straightforward. That keeps the turbo nice and cool and lubricated, and yeah, now that's pretty much the cost breakdown. That's pretty much it. I'll work out all that price and I'll put the price right up top there. But for now, yeah, I couldn't really figure it off at the top of my head. But yeah, that's all you really need for your turbo setup if you really want to turbo your TB45 Patrol. And then the last supporting mod, which you don't need, you can reflash your original ECU. But what I have, as you can see, it's awesomely mounted. I have the Haltech 750 plug and play ECU. It's got the plug and play adapter up there, so that's how you can tune your car and whatnot. And then you just run all your engine sensors and everything off that. So I do have the Haltech in the car. It does make a big difference because when it comes to tuning and all that, you can use the Haltech to play around a lot more than the stock ECU. But I mean, you can get the stock ECU chipped. So if you do enter dramas with an ECU, it's easy enough to re-flash the original one to get it all working with the turbo. The biggest thing is fuel, because the original ECU, obviously, if you've got a big turbo on it and it can't produce enough fuel pressure, it's going to lean out lots and you're going to explode your motor. So that is the end of this Q&A video. It's about all the questions I got and about all the information I could really give you. If it's not enough information, leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer your question in a full text. I'll try to reply to your comments. Now, you don't have to exactly go to my setup. There are so many different ways you can turbo your TB45, but my way works and it's up to you. I just have fun with it, and I'll see you guys next time.
What it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see it shine, 'cause we're golden.